إن الحمد لله وكفاه والصلاة والسلام على رسوله المصطفى وعلى عباده الذين ارتضى ومن بهداهم اهتدى وبآثار أهل المدينة اقتفى وبعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. You're listening to myself, Abu Layth Al-Maliki. We have a very important and amazing month approaching us, Shahrul Ramadan, the month of which Allah speaks of in the Qur'an. He says, Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Qur'an. We as Muslims, what should we be doing to prepare for this month? And how should we go about through this month? Many people have given us many guidelines. They've told us things. We should engage in the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is absolutely correct. That is very generic. I would like to expand upon that in saying that this month is the month of the Qur'an. This month, when Imam Malik was asked about Ramadan, he said this is Shahrul Qur'an. The other things are put aside and we focus upon the Qur'an. What I would like to explore further is this focusing upon the Qur'an. It is an absolute blessing for us if we can spend our time engaged in the tilawah. But there's more than just that. We can also invest our time in trying to understand what the Qur'an is actually saying. To invest our time in trying to learn some of the Arabic language. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has spoken about the Qur'an. He has mentioned that إِنَّهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا. We have sent this down as an Arabic Qur'an. Allah is speaking to us through this message. We go about our entire lives claiming that we have this association to Al-Islam. Yet have we put aside even an hour to learn the language of the Qur'an? That should be the first step, and everybody is capable to learn the Arabic language to his or her capacity. And that is what the fatwa of many of the ulama has been upon. That the learning of the language is an obligation upon each Muslim and each Muslimah. By understanding the words and the language of the Qur'an, we can access the message of the Qur'an. And by accessing the message, it leads us to the next stage, which is understanding what Allah is addressing us with in His message, in His kalam. So there is the tilawah element, which is an amazing aspect, and nobody should undermine the benefits or the rewards. When the Prophet ﷺ was asked about the recitation, he says, وَلَا تَقُلْ, do not say alif lam mim harf, when he said that you will get a reward for each harf that you recite of the Qur'an. And he said, do not be mistaken, alif lam mim is not a harf. Alif, he said, بَلْ أَقُولُ أَلِفٌ حَرْف وَلَامٌ حَرْف وَمِيمٌ حَرْف. That each one of these is an independent character upon which a reciter will gain reward. It is absolutely unimaginable, the reward of tilawah. But the Qur'an was not for simple recitation and that's it. Allah says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Do they not contemplate over the Qur'an? How can we contemplate it if we do not even understand the language in which it is addressing us? When we reflect historically right throughout different eras of Muslim history, we will be quite amazed to understand and learn how different people, different Muslims, how legends spent their Ramadan. They didn't necessarily spend it just saying, I'm so tired, I'm going to sleep, or I'm so, oh, it's Ramadan, so I'm not really going to be engaged in much activity, or I'm not going to be. In fact, you will see some of the most spectacular events throughout Islamic history began and took place in the month of Ramadan. This is a lesson for us all, that when this month approaches us, we should engage and focus upon the Qur'an and whatever that necessitates. And by necessity, it will include understanding the language in which it was revealed, coming to learn about those people, the companions amongst who the Qur'an was revealed, and those who took it from them, the tabi'een, and the scholars who came after and preserved it. Learning about their lives, learning about what they said, how they commented, how they explored further some of the verses, how they clarified some of those meanings. Trying to understand these things is absolutely vital for each and every Muslim. So I would like to encourage us all, including myself and each and every person whom this message reaches, that let's take the time, bi-idhnillah, to reflect, to try and understand the language and the Qur'an by extension. Let's try to understand the deeper messages which have been revealed to this ummah. So, Jazakumullah al-khair for listening. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the tawfiq to engage in this effort, be it in the month of Ramadan or out the month of Ramadan. The only difference is this is a month in which usually Muslims stop with some reflection. So let it be a reminder to us all. Allah says, dhakir, that we should remind, فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, that a reminder is beneficial for those who have faith. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enlighten all of our hearts with His knowledge. May He fill our lives with wisdom and give us a pristine and clear understanding of this deen, so we may implement it and convey it to those who come after us. Jazakumullah al-khair for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.